صباح الخير. Good morning. اليوم بدنا نحكي عن الانفورميشن سورسز. هذا الصف الريسيرش ميثودولوجي منهجية البحث العلمي، ونشوف كيف نعمل وين بنجيب المعلومات. How do you get information عشان تبلش الريسيرش. So في عندك different sources of information. عندك التكست بوكس الكتب، عندك الجورنال بيبرز، عندنا الكونفرنس بروسيدينجز، عندنا التكنيكال ريبورتس وويب سايتس. So which ones to use and when to use the textbooks. نستخدم journals، شو الفرق بينهم وبين conference papers، وشو المصادر رح نحكي عنها هلا كمان شوي. So نبلش بالتكست بوكس. بتبلش بالتكست بوكس لما تعمل ريسيرش عشان it's a very good starting position. ببلش يعطيك العلم الاساسي اللي بتحتاجه عشان تعمل الريسيرش. So تفتش على well organized books in the areas of interest. Those books will provide المعلومات الأساسية basic and general information about the concepts. و somewhat they're easy to read إذا بتقارنهم مع الجورنال papers. طلع على table of contents and look for the chapters اللي بدك تقرأهم. You don't have to read the whole textbook. You just read the chapters that are interesting in your work. So طبعا a very good source is the Amazon. So if you go to Amazon for example, نروح لهون. We go to Amazon.com. Or let's assume I'm interested in the books. Let's say I want to do the unmanned ground vehicles, area vehicles. Okay, unmanned area vehicles, and you get many books here. شوف مثلا basic unmanned time to start working on drone technology مثلا. Let's take a look at theory application مثلا. Get it here. You can buy it or different 50 ل 60 dollar, and you can look at sometimes they let you look at the chapters, sometimes they don't. Let's see if I can find this book. This is first edition. Let's see if I can find this book على Google مثلا. Go here Google, enter. Okay. Or look for the PDF. خلينا نحكي PDF version. Maybe I can't find it. Sometimes I have to look for it. Let's see this one. PDF. يمكن بعطيك part of the book or reference. Okay, this is a review of the book. You can find here. Let's assume I want to look for. I can look for Google as well. Let's say unmanned aerial vehicles مثلا. Unmanned aerial. Area vehicles مثلا. PDF. ResearchGate. Let's say book. Go here, book. Look for it. This might be handbook of unmanned ground vehicles. Is it available? I can request the full text if I want to, or I can start here and finding one that has a book. Okay, and so on. So you can find books here on Amazon.com, and you go to Google, you can search. I find, for example, in my case, I was able to download some books. خلينا نشوف هون مثلا على MIP classes. عندي بالروبوتكس autonomous. Okay, there's a book I was able to find on the net مثلا. and it is the عندنا مثلا I'm interested in doing research مثلا بالunmanned مثلا ground vehicle for example أو aerial vehicles. I download a book autonomous mobile robots, and so the book will give you general concepts information about your research, what you want to do. وهذا بعطيك ما بدخل ب research concepts as much as basics. يعني بحكي لك مثلا what is locomotion, how does mobile robot kinematics work. Let's take a look at this مثلا. Go to 47 50. I keep locomotion وبعطيك البيسكس how the steering works. وبتحتاج to have those basic concepts عشان تبلش ب research زي الموبايل robots for example. بعطيك general information let's more chapter 2. I will look for the equation, basic equation مثلا. اوكي انا بحكي لك مثلا موبايل روبوت كاينماتكس. بدهم بحكي لك مثلا عن اوكي ببدا اشرح لك البيسكس. موبايل روبوت عنده بوزيشن اكس واي، عنده انجل ثيتا اورينتيشن، وبعطيك البيسك ايكويشنز. سو هاي البيسك ايكويشنز اوف ذا بوز global frame. بعدين بدخل لك بسم the equations how it works and so on. ببلش بكتاب. الكتاب بعطيك البيسكس ideas of the research that you want to work with. هلا في عندك برضه احنا هم جامعة فيلادلفيا. You can go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia.edu.jo and you can go to the library, search tools, online catalogs, go to the English, and you look for the book that you want to find. And for example in this case رحنا لهون، رحنا على البوكس تبعنا mechatronics, and then you find the book that you want. بيطلع لك list of books, and then you use the one that is interesting to you, and you click on it and you can find it from the library. So those are the solid textbooks. You start research with textbooks. What about journals? The journals is going to be the basics, the core of your research, the core of your literature view. But you have to be very selective of what you read. There are many junk publications available on the net. Be very careful what the source that you get your journal publication from. Because some journals they publish on for profit, and they don't have, some of the publications do not have good solid research. So my advice, focus on the following publishers: Elsevier, Science Direct, IEEE, Springer, Sage, Taylor & Francis, especially the first two. Elsevier is a very respected and well-established publisher. It publishes journals in many areas, and there's many publications in engineering. And the good thing about it is that Philadelphia University actually has subscription, so you can get your login, your password. IEEE is a very good source as well. We'll talk about it. So what about conferences? Critique the papers yourself before you accept all the facts of the conferences. Focus on conferences that have went through a good review process. And my advice, just look at the conference that were published via IEEE, because we know that the IEEE has a good review process. Look for publications. استخدم in your references that you use for your research. ركز على journal papers mostly. And conference papers استخدم the ones that have been published in the past فقط 4 years. ليش؟ عشان usually a researcher he publishes his results in a conference as a preliminary results, بعدين ببني عليهم بطورها وهي published later on in a journal paper. So let's go to Science Direct. هذا exam فرجيك go to Science Direct. Let's go here to Science Direct. Oh, I have it open. Hey, Science Direct, sciencedirect.com. Okay, and let's say the keyword تبعي unmanned ground vehicles, for example. بقدر احط author name journal, بس in general بدي افتش كل شيء they have about unmanned ground vehicles. and I go search and I get like 10,000. Okay, that's a lot of publication on unmanned ground vehicles. Let's say I'm interested only in path planning, for example. Path planning. Go search. برضه عن 3500. all those publications. هلا بدي هون بقدر اركز على السنوات اللي بدي اياها. Let's I want to take a look at just the recent one, مثلا من خلال من 2018 و 19 20 21 22. so صار عندي قديش هلا 1500. I can also go here and بحكي بدي فقط research articles. ركز على research articles. وبدي اقصير بقدر اروح مثلا هون بدي اروح على مثلا مادة social sciences. انا بدي something مثلا engineering. yes, definitely engineering. بدي engineering. okay, so those are the engineering ones. هلا اذا بدي الجورنال publisher, let's say بدي robotics and autonomous systems مثلا, وبدي computer Chinese. let's say where's mechatronics. هاي مثلا and I go to for mechatronics set mechatronics 36. هلا انا داخل على الاكونت تبعي ف a lot of the papers are available so I can for example this one learning if I'm interested in this one بطلع عليها بحكي okay let's read the abstract بلا الابستراكت interesting maybe not I go to another abstract يمكن I go here okay الابستراكت I read it okay I can click on it here or I can download directly so I get this article that I can directly download and I can download it and there you go I got the paper right here my download I can take a look at it okay there's the paper I have it and I read it I'm interested in it I use it in my research so هلا نسكر هاي نرجع لل so هلا لاحظ هون there's so many papers available I can like I said I can download some of them you have to have subscription and password للScience Direct but even if you don't you can look at the open access are available for everybody مثلا this one multi-camera visual I can download this one هاي another paper I can download I can use okay هاي الصفحة الثانية and so on you can download the whole thing so this is what I talked about you can download paper you can refine your search if it's green it's available sometimes it's not available again open access available for everybody احنا بالجامعة احنا عندنا subscription للساينس دايركت for the past 5 years so everything 2020 برجع على 2016 anything I can actually download another excellent source is IEEE so let's go here to the IEEE Explore this is IEEE publisher you can sign in if you have an account or you can look for example Hone and we can look for open access unmanned ground vehicles and I'm gonna search here this is excellent source of information unmanned IEEE هلا كثير منهم احمر is cannot have access to it unless you sign in أنا عندي personal account but I'm gonna here concentrate on the open access so you go here and you say I want open access only there's open access so all those I can see all of those huh? This one مثلا published in Intelligent Conversion Network هاي هذا اسم البيبر Survey of Factional Order Control for Unmanned Vehicles هاي الauthors it's written IEEE access if I'm interested in this one for example I can look at the PDF file and I can download it and there's okay I can take a look at the PDF and I can download okay so there's a paper right here and I can see it well. Okay, so the paper is open up for me. The paper right here. I can download the whole thing to my computer. So عندك Science Direct عندك IEEE وانا I recommend those two publishers for your research for your references. بحكي لك كيف عملنا ال IEEE and how to tone it. عندك another one Springer برضه is a good publisher. Sage Publishing برضه is a good publisher. ResearchGate. Now ResearchGate, I always tell my students you have to be careful about ResearchGate. ResearchGate, you have to be careful عشان anybody can upload anything on ResearchGate. I can make an article and I can upload it. Okay, بس the trick إنه to look at the paper itself before you download it. I am going to look for my publications in mechatronics. I publication mechatronics. مثلا future trends. Sometimes the full text available, sometimes not. خلينا نحكي هون مثلا برضه let's say unmanned ground vehicle. See what we get. Okay, so this one مثلا published in an international conference. This one IEEE conference. I can request a full text, or this one is available, for example. I have full text available, and I can download the full text if I want to. So this is international conference. So ResearchGate is like a community. People share their research together, but it's not a publisher. Okay, so this, and you look at it, and so you have to be very careful about this, because I'm not sure where it was published. Huh? I have to look at this website. I'm not sure. International Journal of Engineering Research and Technology. I don't know about the publisher. Maybe it's good one, maybe it's not. You have to be careful. بعدين عندك those are open journal sources that you can use. This one is Springer Open Journals. Okay, now you always have the internet to look for information. What's the difference between Google and Google Translate? Well, Google is very general. It will provide links to websites, يمكن لارticles, بس يمكن تعطيك commercial products, يمكن تعطيك شركات, companies that you don't actually need as a researcher. So let's go to Google, for example, and we'll go here, search Google, حط مثلا unmanned ground vehicle, and بعطيني كثير معلومات. طبعا بعطيك ويكيبيديا. أول شيء as a researcher, Wikipedia is not a reliable source, not as a master student بتعمل تشرح الثيسيس تبعك. So you get many information, some of them information about YouTube كيف تشتغل, some of them about companies, مثلا هاي الشركة بتعمل products. Okay, good information to look at, but not really useful for research. So it's better to do Google Scholar rather than Google Scholar.google.com. Here هلا بقدر احط unmanned ground vehicle search. اوكي طلع لي. هلا عندي some PDF files. This one, for example, conference on IEEE, and you can مثلا this one. Let's take a look at this one مثلا. Okay, and there's a conference topic. هاي البيبر available. So في so many sources to look for information. Google, ما تستخدم جوجل لما تفتش على publications, استخدم Google Scholar. It's much better focused on research publications. And this is what we showed, so Google Scholar. So now we talked about IEEE, وحكينا عن Science Direct, Google, حكينا ResearchGate. What about Scopus? Well, Scopus is different. Scopus is the largest database of abstracts. It contains all abstracts from many publishers. فيها publication من ال IEEE, من Sage, من Science Direct, من Springer. Sometimes full text available, sometimes they're not. Scopus بسهل العمل عليك. بدل ما تروح على كل publisher تدخل على IEEE تفتش على شو latest publication in unmanned ground vehicles, path planning, neural networks, وبتروح على Elsevier, بتروح كل ما لا, you can go straight إلى Scopus و you can read the abstracts. You can also use Scopus to rate the journals هلا بنشوفها. So if we go to Scopus on, let's go here. Scopus, actually have it opened here. I'll open it. هلا Scopus again, some of the information are available for anybody. Some of them are locked just for people that subscribe. احنا Philadelphia برضو we have subscription to Scopus. We can give you the password. هلا at this stage مثلا, let's take a look. This is general. See, I'm not signed in. Oh, Philadelphia. Okay. So let's go here and I say مثلا بدي أفتش على something in the article title. أو article and keywords abstract إيه علاقة مثلا robotic unmanned ground vehicles. كمان يلا عشان نشوف ground vehicles and I look for it. Searching. Let's open this a little bit. أعطاني 13,000 documents and there they are. هدول recent publication عشان هيك ما عندهم citation, بس there's so many. I can look at the abstracts. مثلا this one مثلا computing efficiency. Okay, I can look at the abstract easy. I retrieve and بعطيني الabstract هلا. I can look at the open source. Open source معناته they're available for everybody. Limit to open source. هدول كلهم are available for me. I can see them. مثلا هاي واحدة. Okay, I can open this one. There it is. It's an open access, so I can have access to it. I can download it. PDE, partial derivative integrals, maybe PDE. Partial differentiation equation. استخدام UGV UAV. And I can look at it. I can download it. Okay. So. As I said, you can look at the abstract. You can limit the years من هون. هلا I'm gonna give you two since احنا بالقسم الميكاترونكس the two best journals for mechatronics is the Mechatronics journal published by Elsevier وعندك Transactional Mechatronics published by IEEE SME. هذا الويب سايت تبعهم, you can take a look at it. هلا we do have access to this journal in the past 5 years. جزء من Science Direct. This one actually we don't have access to it, but if you're interested in one of the publications in it, there's a way to get it through جامعة Philadelphia. Talking about Scopus. Scopus برضو I can use it to compare journals together. If I go here مثلا Scopus, I need to compare journals, so I'm gonna go Scopus source, okay, and then I publish here مثلا, let's start from scratch. Mechatronics, and I'm gonna rate the journal Mechatronics. Search شو بطلع عندي؟ طلع عندي journals in mechatronics. خلينا نشوف كلهم. هذا السايتيشن نمبر كل ما زاد كل ما افضل. خلينا نرتبهم. طلع عندك نمبر 1 is IEEE SME Transactional Mechatronics. الثاني طلعت mechatronics. في عندك many other journals and I can compare them with each other. إذا بحط هاي مثلا, بحط هاي and compare two journals من ناحية السايتيشن publication period. مثلا عندك هون mechatronics بتحكي لك مثلا على كل 2018 على كل one article published in Mechatronics كان في 5 that reference to it, that cited it. هون مثلا عنده better score. So we talk about the reliability of source. حكينا عن different publishers and how to get the information, how to download the papers. لما تطلع internet source اتأكد is it come from a well-established organization. هل أنا الويب سايت عم بدخل منه نزل منه research IEEE Elsevier ولا just a blogger working by himself. What about the journal publisher? Is it a prestigious journal? Is it a good journal? Mechatronic journal specialized in robotics ولا very general? The more specialized it is in your research, the better probably the research is. Conference, make sure that it's from a well-established organization زي ال IEEE. اتأكد إنه فيها peer-to-peer review. Sometimes you look at the author. Is an expert in the area. Sometimes some research بصيروا well known and you start following their work. And then you read the paper بتحكي, you evaluate it, بتحكي are the results convincing, methodology استخدمها صحيحة, and is the conclusion is it different, it's a good conclusion, لخص البيبر تبعته and so on. So in conclusion, there's many ways to get, there's so much information available on the internet nowadays to get the research. There's no problem with availability of information. You can do any research that you want, given that you're interested. انت جعبالك تعمل ريسيرش هذا وفي عندك passion وحب للشغف لهذا الريسيرش, so that you enjoy yourself أكيد. And you can find immense amount of information. Start with a book well established in your field of research that you're going to do. بعدين go to journals. It's the best source of research. استخدم conferences just from recent work, و be careful about the internet search that you do. هيك بنكون عملنا تلخيص ل information sources, كيف تبلش كresearcher to get the information, to get the articles that you want and use them as a reference. Thank you for listening.